diplomatic corps are also the rally in the going to Chima. So we have less than an hour to go. So you will see the members of the legislature are also there, seated. Both of them are also already there. Good time because they should also be there. So the guests should also be there. So like you see there, you have people from the different embassies, people from the diplomatic corps, like we said, are also there rallying to see how they can get a glance, to see how they can get a clearer picture in terms of where the president vision, actually will go, and that will also enable them in terms of how to help the government into the process, in terms of providing aid, providing support financially, and so on. In terms of capacity building, they are also there to budget. So they are there in the numbers to see how they can have the seat, and also look at the issue of where can we help in terms of the president, State of the Nation's address. The president talked about agriculture, the president talked about road, the president talked about infrastructure here, the president talked about education. Yes, indeed. So you have to see all of them, go in the joint chamber to have their seat and critically analyze the president's speech and see how they can so as you can see, the entire place is
exactly
swelling.
Exactly. So even on the outside, what we've seen more and more officials of government. We've seen more members of the international community. Outside here, we see a van from the 14th military hospital. That shows that in case of any medical situation, we are covered. It is my understanding that there are other arrangements for in case of any emergency. And I can safely say there seems to be a lot more organization this time around than the last time.
They are the of the nations are just because this is where you see the zest in the people, you see the happiness in them. This is what you also see on the side, under the canopy where you see Liberians who are the back of the capital.
The Chief Justice, members of the bench, the Associate Justice, as you can see, they are marching. Take their seats. Chief Justice said, the other day she was here administering the whole of office. Today she just disciplined at the state of the nation address. But comparatively of Monday to today, you hide on this ground as opposed to today. Today you don't see a lot of people here because I see real and I think everybody all the things out there.
I think you heard your management and your it's put that today. 500 persons, but they're going to make sure it would seem to me that this is taking hold because this place is sparsely crowded. I mean, it's a beautiful place to be. The culture troupe is playing, the language, fire,
You see the kids already.
You can see the orderliness.
Today is a different occasion. The expenditure, the so a lot of people won't be here. Some of them are watching the television and monitoring the television, monitoring radio to hear what will happen, because they know very well that the president is today, with implementing article, doing Article 58 of the Liberian Constitution, which says that the president, it's a constitutional requirement that mandates the president to do so or present his legislative agenda to the members of the legislature on the 4th working Monday each year in January. Yeah. So this is what the president does. So you expect, so a lot of people won't gather here because the president won't be on Saturday. The president will be in a joint chamber where you have the House of Representatives. Councillor J. Funatu Kofa will be presiding. So a lot of people feel that coming here, the president won't be us. What am I doing there? And I think it's better to monitor the television, monitor LNTV.
I think that's where I'm coming in. I mean, I would say moreover, the awareness has been out there. Live wherever you are. And there's no need for you to bother coming.
Especially in the rural area.
Yeah, in the rural area, other radio stations, community radios will relay the information to you. So there's no point in coming here. And we have a crack team of LBS and other journalists who are here to bring you this particular occasion in full. So I think Chairman Dan was right to say, just stay home if you don't have an invitation. I can assure you with ELBC, LNTV, and other journalists, you will not miss the cake. You will get everything.
So all the bits and pieces, they will also get all the bits and pieces because we are using all medium. You go to Facebook, LNTV, you go live, we're also there. You go on the radio, we're also there. So it's a joint, preparation, giving the true meaning of the state radio, the performance and what we intend to do to the public. So like you leave from here now to Maryland County, that John Liberia, the 857. So you understand that the LBS, LNTV also there, you can watch it everywhere around Liberia, even Lofa County, it is clear. So there's no need to come here, watch the television, follow it, and hear what the person is saying to the public. Although a lot of people, the issue of their expectation very high.
Yeah, so something as you can see, you see some cultural performances there, and that speaks highly of our cultural, values and heritage and where we've come so far as a country. So a beautiful occasion, and I guess if you were here, it's good to be here joining you live from the capital here in Monrovia. We are coming to you live on the Liberia National Television, Antonin Vow and Samson David, and we'll be joined by Cecilia Clark. It's a crack team of professionals and making sure you get all the happenings here on the grounds of the capital here in Monrovia. In a moment from now, we'll be joining what will be happening within there because it's already 3:15. You have about 45 more minutes to go. So I'm sure in a moment maybe the president, because according to Dan has said, President Bwaga will come in a bit before he takes the podium. So it's a beautiful occasion. On the street, you see lawmakers. I see Emmanuel Famule. Emmanuel Fule is a representative of District Number 7, Bon County. I also see the list of Eugene Colley. Eugene Colley comes from the Bon County District 5. He's a PUP candidate. You can also see the legs of Ellis Noah, Sano County. So I mean, they already started. Musa Kamara he's trying to have a seat, and Taylor, a young fellow there. So yeah, the lawmakers, because they are the ones to get started before any official business starts. So once the session is called to order and the speaker does his presiding, the next thing that will be followed will be the arrival of the president. And as soon as the president mounts in, he goes straight to the podium to.
So I was covering. You guys have been covering the capital all this time. What do you expect it to look like? Is the president going to move quickly to the stand as soon as he gets in to deliver the state of the nation? Okay, our colleague has joined us. Probably will give an opportunity to just throw some light.
Yeah. So
first thing I'd like to start from. Women are usually very organized. I'm not saying men are not, but I see that this is a very organized occasion. Things seem to be in place. Just give us your impression about the general organization of this event.
Yes, of course. I'm Cecilia Clark, and we are here live from the Liberia Broadcasting System. That's the Liberia National Television. to provide full coverage on the President State of the Nation address, expected to be given by 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock, and this is mandate. This is in consonance with Article 58 of the Liberian Constitution, the 18. That's it, 1986. I almost said
So
1847.
there's Speaker Funatu
Yeah,
Kofa.
that is our Speaker
He's
Kofa.
already gone to his
He's already
seat.
seated because the program is such that the speaker is they are going to have a session,
A joint session.
a joint session, and a meeting to 4. President will be escorted in the hall, and then he will, as soon as it is 4 o'clock, he will start the State of the Nation address. And this is in consonance with Article 58 of the 1985 Constitution, which mandates the president to address the nation on the fourth working Monday
Yes.
in June. So we are here providing live coverage, as you can see in the joint chambers, like you are saying, it was a speaker that is seated now, and a minute from now they are going to convene a session, of course, which the only agenda item for that session would be the president State of the Nation address. But
Yes, I don't know why the guy left us. They should come here because they are our legislative reporters.
I mean, don't worry.
They should be okay.
Don't worry,
You have been here yourself. Good.
I covered the House of Representatives and the Liberian Senate.
So let's just look at how that process rolls out. The whole process of convening the joint session, the whole process of welcoming the president, the whole process of the president delivering the State of the Nation address. Just drill us through that.
Yes, like I was saying, the president, the session is about to be convened by the both houses, and that is the Liberian Senate, the House of Representatives. They will raise a motion, and then the motion will usher in the president. And like I said, a minute or 2 minutes to the time, the president will be ushering. Of course, the only agenda item on that agenda is the president's message to the nation. And before they I told you, it is in consonance with Article 58 of the Constitution, which mandates the president time at this time of the year, the fourth working Monday in January, to address the nation via what is ongoing now. But on the flip side, we already saw the arrival of I'm told, a special guest of honor. He's a Sierra Leonean president.
The vice president.
The vice president, I'm sorry, and he arrived already. We see dignitaries
distinguished guests, I'm pleased to announce the arrival of the Vice President. AFL, I'm pleased to announce the arrival of the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia and member of the Senate. All present, please rise. Oh, you're sitting down there now. You're in, you're standing there. Mr. Speaker, distinguished guests, I'm pleased to announce the arrival of the Vice President of the Republic of Sierra Leone.
Administration's legislative program for the ensuing section and shall once a year report to the legislature on the state of the republic. In presenting the economic condition of the republic, the report shall cover expenditure and income. So today it will be the first
The
of
Sergeant at Arms will call.
and he sends His Excellency as President of the Republic of Liberia, or since he assumed office and was sworn in as the 26th President of the Republic of Liberia, and the 26th President of the Republic of Liberia on the 22nd of January. This is the first State of the Nation address. So people might be confused. They may take off the major state office one incoming gift. So yeah, it's like that's why there was a joint presidential transition team.
Fifth Legislature of the Republic of Liberia.
Alice, remember when the president was giving his speech?
Honorable ladies and gentlemen,
It's last
I have the honor
one left in the
to
public.
announce to you
So you can, based on that, and
opening of
work on
the
that. We'll talk
second
more
joint
about that, but
session
we'll go back to
of
Capitol
the
Hill,
55th
where our
Legislature
reporters are to
of
bring
the
us
Republic
the
of
life
Liberia
happening.
for the purpose of the President of the Republic of Liberia to deliver his annual message to the 55th Legislature of the Republic of Liberia. And now, therefore, this session is hereby called to order, and it is hereby so ordered.
Session called to order. Madam Chief Clerk, have you conducted an inquiry as to whether or not we have a quorum for the conduct of business, and do you have a report in such regard?
Honorable Councillor J. Fonati Kofa, Speaker of the House of Representatives of the 55th Legislature and presiding officer of this joint legislature, His Excellency Vice President Jeremiah Kwankun, President of the Liberian Senate, Senator Nyomli Kanga Lawrence, President Pro Tempore, Honorable Thomas P. Falla, Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives of the 55th Legislature, honorable ladies and gentlemen. I'm honored to announce, in consultation with my counterparts of the Liberian Senate, that there is a quorum for the transaction of this joint legislative business solely intended to receive His Excellency Joseph Numa Boakai, Sr., President of the Republic of Liberia, to present to this body his administration's legislative program for the ensuing section. I so submit. Thank you.
With the report that we have a quorum available to conduct business today. We entertain a motion to convene in joint legislative session for the sole purpose of hearing the President's annual message. Honorable Rugi Berry.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Councillor J. Fonati Kofa, the President of the Senate, His Excellency Jeremiah Kuhn, the President pro tempore, Senator Yumble Kanga Lawrence, our distinguished colleagues, I move, if I may obtain a second, that this section, this joint section, that we start this joint section that is strictly for the purpose of the purpose of receiving His Excellency Joseph Yuman Burka, Senior, President of the Republic of Liberia, to deliver his administration's legislative function.
Senator Augustine Chia.
Honorable Speaker, Mr. President of the Senate, Madam President pro tempore, distinguished colleagues, I, Augustine S. Chair, Senator of Sino County, do hereby
President goes to the joint chambers, the William R. Tubber joint chamber. The president knows how to sit, but it is not mandatory. It's not constitution.
I think District 10 Representative Yeka Koloba is actually saying something, and let's see if we can join. We can read
Our guys
at the Capitol so that we can listen to exactly what Yeka is. One person that everyone want to listen to what he has to say. So let's rejoin them to listen to what Yeka is saying at the moment. I guess it's making a motion at this point. But like you guys were saying, District
So we
number
can
one
vote on it.
representative was actually raising a motion. It was seconded by someone,
Yeah, Augustine Chia.
Augustine Chia, and now Yeke is also on floor. If you're
Information
watching it, you can
denied.
see, I think it's done already. Let's go back.
I think at this point, we ask the Joint Executive Committee to proceed to the main entrance or wherever the president may be accommodated on the grounds of the Capitol for the purpose of receiving him and escorting him to chambers.
Yeah, so I think now they are waiting the arrival of the president to address the nation, and that was just said by the Speaker of the House. Yeah, so I think they are waiting the arrival of the president.
And I think the president may likely be right outside because if he's not outside, they say anywhere he is.
Yeah, anyway, he's accommodated on the grounds of the Capitol.
The fact is, once the president comes in, he will not definitely enter until when he's 4 o'clock
4 o'clock.
prompt.
Yeah.
So sometime like how it has been practiced, when the president comes, like usually 3 minutes, 2 minutes to 4 p.m. He stands right.
But we are not at that time yet. We are
Yeah,
exactly.
so
we are like 10
once
minutes
the
to go.
president
10
is,
minutes to
once the
go.
president is on the grounds of the Capitol, he will be accommodated somewhere else. Okay, that place can be named like president at his place. And the president will be there waiting for the time 2 to 3 minutes to go and go. So we just
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
No, but I think it's not actually compulsory or being enshrined in the constitution that the president should be in the gathering of the joint chamber with other guests before addressing the nation. To be somewhere in one of the offices at the Capitol and address the nation. He could even
Have that
No,
happened
no,
before? We should
no.
understand
The president must have a speak to the joint
the joint.
legislature.
Yeah,
At the joint. What's
at
the
the
place
joint
is called?
chamber.
Joint
chambers.
chambers. So that's where you have the Liberian Senate and the House of Representatives. So whenever these two houses meet, so the president, the president cannot go in different office and speak from there. He must be in there. The only thing is, that is not mandatory is to sit, but it is practice.
He
A long
appears.
standing practice. And he or she no, you must stand to speak. You don't just sit. It's being done because of sheer power.
Yeah, because it's our brand. We are our group.
Yeah.
We have the
You
power.
come to talk to us.
We have
yes,
we have the power. Yes, so we tell you what to do. And that's how I think that's how it is.
Or is it compulsory? Have there been time allotted to the president to speak for maybe like 2 hours, 3 hours, 30 minutes, 45 minutes?
there's no deadline. That's why one of the longest speeches the president can have is 15 minutes. Mentioning economics, security, electricity, sanitation, especially when this president has an agenda or arrest. That's agriculture, road, rule of law, education, sanitation, tourism. So you have to speak on each of these sectors that have in this country. Like you want to talk about education, probably this is where we are, this is what we want to do. So you got to speak on that. That's why the sooner is always the longest speech the president usually get because it's something it's annual. It's not something I say doing it maybe weekly, monthly. It's annual. So you have to tell the different people every sector across your touch.
Okay,
So
so
there's no
Gibson,
time.
yeah,
No
so
time.
Gibson, those, yeah, you want to come
I
in?
just want to get our views, both views, and share our views. What we expect.
Yeah, that was just my point, Gibson. It's just like 2 weeks since he took office, right? Yeah, so
No, 1 week.
1 week since he took office. Will he be talking about what he's about to do, what he met in a reserve, what was thrown over to him, and what the Liberian people should expect of he and his administration? Because yeah, we just gone 1 week in his administration, so there's nothing much done. He's still naming his cabinet members.
Most of the cabinet members haven't taken office.
Yeah, they haven't taken office yet. They have to go for confirmation. So, what do you think would be some of the messages coming out from?
Well, it will, like I said, the president and his government have that is arrest.
Yeah.
That's the agenda for the country. Because this is the promise in the way. So today the president look at agriculture where he is an expert in it. He will look at the rule of law. He will look at road activity that is one of the most stable problems in our country. You talk about education, talk about tourism, talk about the electricity, almost every challenge.
Yeah, but Gibson, much of this have been said in his campaign. He told the Liberian people what he want to do. Is it necessary
repose or re-say?
yeah, because we all know the entire areas, rural, agriculture, X, Y,
Well,
Z.
you have to before we talk, you will have to re because the president has absolutely nothing
say in a post that he any so you have to look at our things, especially where when he done because that's why doing a joint presidency thing, people were on the team at the National Lotteries Authority, people from the team at Ministry of Gender, people from the joint presidential transition team from the Ministry of Education. They were working with those who are outgoing.
Yeah.
So the people who are working for the president's transition team or who did work for the president or joint transition team will have to bring what the people told them. These are the reports because the president now reporting to the legislature.
So I think that should be the most important point.
thing, yes.
What he's taking over from who you know what they left there,
Yeah.
and what because the outgoing president said this is what I left. This is what was there when I took over from former president Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, and this is what I, as a person living here now. So we have to know this. If what the outgoing, let me say the former president George Weah, if it is true or not, the president now will have to tell us.
Yeah.
Because if he just say yes, this is what I'm taking over from former president Weah, it means that what Weah told us is true, and our expectations are high. So a few weeks from now, you will see people knocking at his door, telling her, "Oh, you told us that you took this from former president Weah. We expect more from you. You don't have to say, oh, we don't have money into our reserve." When we are said there are millions of dollars there, he's leaving it there. He made thousands and he's leaving millions.
Well, I think his speech today will be more dwelled on what he expects from his cabinet ministers. I think that's what I expect from him. People that he will be appointing and urging Liberians to unite in peace building, and also urging international communities to bring more investment. I think it will be more dwell on some of these issues. And like you correctly stated, Boakai, with the issue of the monies that were left uncovered by the former president, I think he has to emphasize on that, to be more precise about it, whether it was what he met or it was what he didn't meet, because the former president did it during his first State of the Nation address. He said this was what he met in covered.
Yeah.
And Ellen said this, and he said it wasn't it. This is what he met. So I think if the president needs to do that as well. If he leaves it, like you said, the citizens will be expecting high, because money was left in the cover. Why didn't you say it at your first State of the Nation address, and you just left it undone? So I think these are things we should watch out for.
Okay, we are 3 minutes to the time, and we are just waiting words from our guys from the Capitol building. As soon as we get words from them, we'll be rejoining them. But we just want to,
and we want to applaud some of our guys from outside Moserado. A voice of River G in Fitchtown is relaying Punch FM. Thanks so much to manager Ben Brooks, and Voice of Lofa is also relaying this broadcast. We've also been told that Flash FM in Grand Jidesweju is also relaying from us as well. So I want to say thanks to our guys back in the rural part of our country, because it's important for people in the rural part to listen to what the president will have to say today, because people have been waiting. Like people say, we listen to what he said during the inaugural address, but this is
Mr. Speaker,
mission address. So
and members
we'll
of
go
the
back to
legislature,
Capitol Hill and
I am
rejoin us.
honored to announce the President of Liberia and the First Lady of the Republic of Liberia.
Mr. Vice President, allow me to recognize the presence of the Vice President of Sierra Leone, who is here with a message from my friend and brother, the President Julius Maada Bio, the President of the Sister Republic of Sierra Leone. Madam President Pro Tempore, members of the legislature, Madam Chief Justice and Justice of the Supreme Court, the doyen and members of the diplomatic corps, heads and officials of political parties, representatives of our international and development partners, prelates and imams, our traditional leaders, members of the full estate, my fellow Liberians, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We are thankful to the Lord Almighty, the preserver of our state, for his abundant blessings upon us. As the world confronts various crises, wars, pandemics, climate change, and migration, we pray for better, more peaceful, sustainable, and inclusive global order. Exactly 1 week ago, Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn and I took the oath of office as an array of the world leaders, friends, and citizens of Liberia, the home and in the diaspora, looked on. That solemn occasion marked another historic moment in our democracy as we carried out the transfer of power. In obedience to our constitutional duty, it is an honor to come before this august body, the people's representative, to report on the national situation as we met it and present our agenda for development in the coming year. We must acknowledge the harsh realities that face us as we report that the state of our nation is not what we desire. It is important to note problems that confront us: poverty, drug epidemic, corruption, poor infrastructure, and an forming economy. The current challenge presents us a unique opportunity to embark on a new journey of hope. This is our commitment to rescue the nation. Our vision. Our vision, as revealed in ARREST, ARREST, meaning agriculture, roads, rule of law, education, sanitation, and tourism, shall guide the preparation of our new medium-term national development plan. For the welfare of our people, we must harness opportunities in agriculture, roads, infrastructure development, improve the rule of law, rethink the education sector, improve sanitation, and unlock the potential of tourism. We believe that creating economic linkages between these development facets and reinforcing them will help reverse the years of economic downturns. The state of the economy. The state of the economy is a cause for concern, with many of our citizens facing perennial unemployment and economic instability. We must not just recognize the pain and frustration that permeate our society, but also work together to introduce and pass legislations that will prioritize economic reforms and foster sustainable economic growth and job creation. Distinguished legislators, economic growth slowed between 2022 and 2023 from 4.8% to 4.6%. The rate of growth averaged about 1.5% compared with 3.1% between 2012 and 2017, due in part to an underperforming economy and existing geopolitical global environment. During the past 6 years, the economy faced challenges in terms of growth, job creation, and poverty reduction. Inflation during the period 2023 rose to 10.1% at the end of December from 7.6% in 2022. Revenue collection, as reported for 2023, stood at $710.23 million, while expenditure totaled $796.32 million. Hence, a large budget deficit of over $80 million. We intend to change the state of economy by thinking outside the box. A paradigm shift away from reliance on our primary commodity export to focusing on value addition with the private sector as the engine to drive the economy. Under my administration, the empowerment of the Liberian entrepreneurship through more support will help bring back the Made in Liberia quest for inclusive and sustainable growth and jobs. In our quest to expand the economy, we encourage information communication technology, ICT, and the job creation, especially for the youth. To achieve this, my administration will train up to 10,000 young people in various in various digital skills in the first half of 2024. The Liberian middle class goal must be a reality in the next 6 years. The next net international reverses position reported at the end of December 2023 was $220 million. The report of US 40 million as the GOL's consolidated account balance as of January 19, 2024 is not supported by the fact. The balance reported by the CBL as of the same date was 20.5 million, highly incumbent, not $40 million. To this end, we will re-emphasize our earlier commitment to audit and show that regular audits will be the culture across all branches. Regular audit will be the culture across all branches of government, not only the executive. The stock of public debt at the end of December 2023 stood at $2.21 billion, an increase of 8.67% compared to the end of December 2022 stock of $2.08 billion. This represents a sharp increase of $1.33 billion compared to the end of December 2017 stock of $878.17 million, representing 601.8% rise. Our debt burden has clearly grown astronomically. Suddenly, the rescue mission was necessary for Liberia's transformation. As I am speaking, Liberia is under sanction for lack of payment of dues to the African Union and the African Development Bank. Also, a default in the payment of about $650,000 to the European Investment Bank is preventing the disbursement of $30 million for Sanikoe-Lugato Road. We will reintroduce the fiscal rules and travel ordinance, in addition to our measures to help address waste and abuse and ensure the return of prudent fiscal management. We will ensure that the executive leads by example. Agriculture. Liberia is endowed with abundant natural resources. With over 40% of West Africa's rainforest, our country is home to a diverse array of flora and fauna that should help provide economic and agricultural growth opportunities. Liberia is also a leader in the discussion on climate change mitigation, further emphasizing the importance of international partnership for sustainable agricultural production and development. However, it is important to recognize that our available arable land is underutilized. My government is committed to harnessing the right resources, strengthening collaboration with international partners and local farmers to improve production. Legislative agenda. Our legislative agenda is aimed at working with you in doing the business of the people, for which proposed legislation will be submitted in coming months. We will focus on shaping the outcome for desired by our new development agenda. The following constitute the development agenda. The Presidential Transition Act. The Presidential Transition Act was drafted in 2017 to provide the appropriate and legal framework for seamless transition from one democratically elected president to the other. The draft bill has since been lingering with little or no action to move it to legislation. Given the difficulty in establishing the appropriate framework to guide the recent presidential transition, my government will immediately review the draft bill for submission to the legislature for passage. When passed, the Presidential Transition Act will provide a legal basis for smooth transfer of political power. Bill for the establishment of the Ministry of Local Government. This bill is aimed at advancing modalities to operationalize the Local Government Act passed in 2018 to fast-track the transitioning of the Ministry of Internal Affairs to the new Ministry of Local Government. The Ministry of Local Government will have the authority to drive the government's decentralization program, operationalizing the revenue sharing law. The revenue sharing law needs to be synchronized with existing laws, including the Project Financial Management Act, PFMA, and the current Revenue Code. The Revenue Sharing Law passed in 2022, and these two other instruments were designed for different systems.
You can't beat it, not even
Any authority to use a portion of locally generated revenue. This has left counties revenue, often stranded to raise operational costs. We will work with the relevant institutions of government to align the new law with the existing law, popularize the law, and ensure adherence. Why the new revenue sharing across the country? The passage of the National Tourism Bill. One of the major recommendations that came out of the mandate and functional review of the Ministry of Information, Culture Affairs, and Tourism was the need to divest culture and tourism from the Ministry of Information. The National Tourism Bill has since been sent to the legislature with a first public hearing. Improving tourism is one of the pillars of the arrest agenda. We will work with the legislature on the status of the bill pending necessary action to complete the process. Once passed, Liberia will have a National Tourism Authority mandated to draw regulations and appropriate governing framework for tourism sector. Establishment of the Office of Ombudsman. Passage of the Code of Conduct for public officials had not had the full effect of the law. A major hurdle is a lack of implementation infrastructure. To this end, there is a need to reestablish the Office of the Ombudsman. When established, this office will supervise and enforce all provisions of the Code of Conduct and will also impose sanctions for infractions. We must begin looking at appointing an individual with a requisite moral standing to head and run the office. Amendment to the new Financial Institution Act. As part of the CBL financial sector reform in 2023, the bank submitted to the Office of the President a new banking law to replace the existing new Financial Act of 1999. The act was submitted to the National Legislature for enactment, but is still pending passage. In the coming days, my administration will work with the leadership of the legislature to ensure new Banking Act is passed into law. Amendment and Restated Payment System Act. An amended and Restated Payment System Act is currently being reviewed by my administration. The act, when passed into law, will help strengthen the means of mobile payments across platforms and enhance the drive towards cashless society. Liberia Insurance Regulatory Commission Act. The Central Bank of Liberia is working on a draft Liberia Insurance Regulatory Commission Act, which is currently being shared with stakeholders for their input, following which it will be submitted to passage into law. We are also working on the draft bill for the National Health Insurance Scheme for Liberia. This scheme is intended to reduce out-of-pocket costs for citizens and enhance access to affordable and quality health care. The Paris Agreement, 2015 Paris Agreement. The threat of climate change to our environment and the way of life is becoming obvious by the day, which is why we must join the rest of the world to address the causes of this phenomenon. I call on the legislature to work with us to begin looking at the Paris Agreement, including the carbon market, to ensure our national interest is protected. The list of protocols, conventions, and other instruments will be forwarded to you for consideration and appropriate action. Road infrastructure development. Expanding and improving road network in our country remains a top priority for our administration. While there has been some progress in the road transport sector during the review period, there remain considerable challenges in the road development. Mr. Vice President, Senator, Speaker, the Honorable Legislature, ladies and gentlemen, the total paved roads in our national network amount to 1,131.1 kilometers, representing 8.7% of the 13,000 kilometer road network we need. This fact underscores considerable challenges in road infrastructure and the urgent need to fund road development in our country. With associate assistance from friendly partners, the country made notable progress in paving some primary roads, including the corridors, the Banga to Salaye, the Ganta to Safifi, the Ganta to Yekepa, and the Sanekwe to Lugatu. In addition, as of now, 37.7% of work on the ELBA to RIA road project has been accomplished. To access all county capitals, my government will work to alleviate the problem faced by commuters using this primary roads, especially during the rainy season. The situation also causes major impediments to the economic development of our people, as these primary routes are major economic corridors to all parts of the country. The restoration of county road maintenance station will be a key deliverable. This is why we have commissioned a no car stop in the mud 100-day deliverable to make all major primary roads pliable. Our flagship road delivery program will include the Freeport to the St. Paul Bridge Road. Having received funding through the government of Japan, we'll begin construction of a 4-lane road from the Gabriel Tucker Bridge to the Freeport of Monrovia. Additionally, the government of Japan is expected to provide funds to expand the Gabriel Tucker Bridge to 4 lanes. The government has also secured additional support from Japan for the conduct of feasibility studies for the expansion of the Freeport to St. Paul Bridge corridor. My government will allocate funds to complete the 6.5-kilometer Freeport to St. Paul Bridge Road. Mr. Vice President, Mr. Speaker, Madam Pro Tempore, and honorable legislators, my government will ensure the funding from the National Road Fund is utilized to maintain and rehabilitate roads for the good of our public. Through the contribution of Liberians who pay their fuel levies from every gallon of gasoline or fuel or the purchase, we will continue to expand about the maintenance program in maintaining our existing network and the construction of new community roads. The honorable legislators, I would like you to join me in extending sincere gratitude to our development partners, which include the European Union, the European Investment Bank, the World Bank, the United States Agency for International Development, the UK Aid, the German government, KfW, and GIZ. I would like to also thank our Arab partners, including the Saudi Fund, the Kuwaiti Fund, Badia, as well as the Japanese government and JICA, the Swedish government, the Chinese government, and this China Aid program, the Norwegian government, the Indian government, the African Development Bank, FDB, and ECOWAS for their many contributions to our infrastructure development. Foreign policy. Mr. Vice President, Mr. Speaker, Madam President Pro Tempore, members of the legislature, as a founding member of the most continental and multilateral institution, we will continue to honor our obligations. Liberia continues to foster cordial relationship with other countries in the community of nations and maintains its current membership with multilateral organizations like the United Nations, ECOWAS, Mono River Union, and the African Union. We will continue to pursue a policy of good neighborliness as we remain in peaceful coexistence with our immediate neighbors. Mr. Vice President, Mr. Speaker, Madam Pro Tempore, honorable legislators. As a nation with a proud history of regional leadership, our standing among the Community of Nations is undermined when we fail to meet our obligation as a sovereign state. Therefore, it is imperative to reclaim our standing in the Community of Nations. My government will work with the legislature to ensure arrears are settled. The civil service. There's an estimated 70,000 employees, including appointed officials in the government of Liberia. These command a total wage bill of $300 million annually. The growth in the size of government has not been proportional to the growth in the revenue and the efficiency and the effectiveness of our government. This means that wage continues to consume a sizable portion of the total budget, strangulating service delivery in all initiatives and obligations of the government. So, the government faces the situation stunted growth and non-investment in the lives of the people. To make the government more effective and efficient, we must focus on public service delivery. The people, not the government, must come first. Health and sanitation remain a major priority of our government. In the health sector, my government will prioritize the following: the availability of needed medical supplies and logistics in all public health institutions throughout the length and breadth of the nation. Regular, efficient, and robust monitoring and evaluation of health services in the country to accelerate the reduction of maternal and newborn mortality. The establishment of regional diagnostic centers, regulation of healthcare and pharmaceutical institutions in the country to meet international standards. Our recent experience in Ebola and COVID-19 requires our full support in treating national public health with utmost importance in Liberia as it relates to emergency preparedness and response. This requires a more coordinated way of building a more resilient health infrastructure to address current health challenges and future health shocks. Honorable legislators, the drug epidemic, especially the use of kush, in our country is an existential threat, eating away the future of our children and the country. We must stand up and face this national security risk together. Given the need for immediate action to make good my pledge to the thousands of families burdened by this crisis, I am hereby declaring drug and substance abuse as a public health emergency. In this direction, I am establishing a multi-sectorial steering committee comprising the following agencies: the Ministry of Health, with chair, Ministry of Justice, co-chair, Ministry of UN Sport member, Ministry of Gender, Children, Social Protection member, Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency member, Ministry of Finance and Development Planning member. This fight, me and my vice president will be the first to take drug tests Me and my vice president will be the first to take drug tests, and I urge all others to follow me. Education. Education remains a beacon of hope, but our educational system has been a downward spiral over the years, leaving countless Liberian children without the tools that they need to build a better tomorrow. It is a problem we must confront head on. Education is not a privilege, it is a fundamental right. We cannot turn a blind eye to the fact that a significant portion of our population is struggling with a lack of access to quality education. And there is no other way that we can genuinely seek to successfully fight poverty without the provision of quality education to our people. Starting now, my administration is making a steadfast commitment to revitalize our educational system. We'll invest in education infrastructure and provide adequate resources. In this, we crave your support. Good governance, honorable legislators, our commitment to good governance is unwavering. Transparency, accountability, the rule of law will guide our actions. We will fight corruption and build institutions that serve our people's interest. A government that is accountable to its citizens is a government that can truly serve the needs of its people. Mr. Vice President, President of the Senate, Mr. Speaker, members of the legislature, our justice system is meant to protect the innocent and punish the guilty, has been marred by inefficiency, corruption, and lack of public trust. I am counting on this honorable body to pass effective legislation and support financial appropriation that will help us to win the fight against corruption. Anyone caught in the act of corruption will face the full weight of the law with swift and non-discriminatory enforcement. Elections. Mr. Vice President, Mr. Speaker, Madam President Pro Tempore, and honorable legislators, we have had a successive peaceful transfer of power, establishing our credentials in emerging democracy following the Civil War. But while we proudly celebrate this achievement, we are not oblivious to the bottlenecks that regularly attend our elections and mar the electoral process. One of the vexing problems we noted during our past election is voter registration and the associated logistical problems. which tend to frustrate and anger voters and political parties. My government will strengthen the National Identification Registry to build the needed capacity to be able to capture the comprehensive biometric data needed to feed all agencies, included the National Election Commission. In addition, my government will begin to review and implement electoral reform laws. The diaspora. Mr. President of the Senate, Mr. Speaker, members of the legislature, our Liberian brothers and sisters in the diaspora are an integral part of this nation. They are the extension of our national pride. They share in our nation's happiness and sadness. They are readily responsive to the needs of family members and friends in times of difficulty. Liberians in the diaspora have a stake in the future of Liberia, and my administration will be intentional about ensuring that their stake in Liberia is fully honest. I have therefore proposed an annual diaspora conference on the national development. I commend the acts of the 54th legislature and the past administration for their action to remove the unfair burden of citizenship against Americans who have chosen to explore opportunities in other parts of the world. I am glad that the slogan, once Liberian, always Liberian, now has a meaning. We will establish clear and predictable policies that link where diaspora Liberians can play more meaningful roles in the Liberian future. Necrology. The nation lost some of the prominent citizens during the year in review. Special condolences go to the families of the victims of the tanker explosion in Turota, Bond County. Among those joined our ancestors are former Assistant Minister Mr. Victor Daniel Kweku, 90 years, Ambassador Hannah Abiedu Boye Jones, 89 years, Commissioner James Joey McGill Sr., 86 years, Deputy Minister Dr. Edward Gimba Goba, 78 years, Senator Daniel Nathan of Bafolo County, and former Deputy Speaker Hans Bachu of Grand Bassa County. We also mourn all those who lost their lives during the just ended legislative presidential election. A fuller list will be published. Mr. Vice President, Mr. Speaker, and Pro Tem, and honorable members of the legislature, the state of our nation is in distress, but the hope of our people is alive. We have all it takes to overcome the burden we have imposed on ourselves through greed and corruption. When we work together, there is nothing we cannot overcome as a people. This is why I ask all of you representatives of our people to join me to do the business of the Liberian people by not doing business as usual. The, the time for mindset shift is now. We must be selfless in our service to bring about the change the Liberian people are yearning for. Again, I challenge you to join me to think Liberia, love Liberia, and build it. I want to thank you. May God bless the works of our hands and save the state. Thank you.
Can't beat it. Not even in a marathon. Here comes the punch that makes the difference. Punch FM, the newest sensation.
You are listening to Punch FM 106.
Quality at its best. This is Punch FM in Liberia. Quality at its best. This is Punch FM in Liberia.
It's narrow, thick and fucking wet, but it can stick it fit and focus together.
The committee will escort the president out of the chambers. The Joint Legislative Executive Committee. The legislature will be in order. Honorable Cully, the legislature will be in order. The Sergeant at Arms, please close the doors when our guest leaves. Okay, having exhausted the agenda for the purpose of which we appeared here today, we will entertain a motion to adjourn this joint session. Senator Amara Kone.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Vice President and President of the Senate, Madam Pro Tem, Mr. Deputy Speaker, I move, if I can obtain a second, that this joint session of the legislature for the purpose of receiving the President's State of the Nation address be adjourned.
Honorable
Three
Bernard Benson.
will all be audited. And this is a breaking news. If you are out there and not happy about such news, you should be celebrating because we all been calling for.
Honorable Speaker.
We all been talking about, we need the
Honorable
legislature to be
President of the
audited,
Senate.
we need the executive, but the old man is saying
Honorable-
not just auditing the executive, but the three branches of
Honorable Deputy Speaker,
only will be-
esteemed colleagues,
Listen, it doesn't mean that you.
I, Bernard Blue Benson Jr.,
in my office.
representing the gallant people of Electoral District number 17, Montserrat County,
And one of the things
so second
the President said.
the motion for adjournment.
Listen,
An undebatable motion being proffered, the session is adjourned.
the state of the nation is in distress.
Yeah.
Right? But the hope of our people is alive.
Well, I think
Let him just go.
yeah.
Go ahead.
So-
So,
go ahead, Gibson.
the president have seen the past 6 years how the state has been run by former President Weah and his folks. This state, if somebody say in distress, meaning the whole state
It's chakra.
it's
chakra.
But the hopes, our people's hope.
Yes, so
because we've come on board,
you've elected us.
because you've already elected us, we
Yeah.
have taken office.
We'll put it back
we'll
together.
make sure that those things that were distressful will now be in the right path, in the right trajectory.
So
we will make sure that we do the best for you, the Liberian people. That's why at first I told you, Boakai and Victor, that this man agenda is arrest. And you know one of the things, I was privileged to have attended one of the president's campaign tour in the Western region. The president said this arresting, nobody ever around him, boy.
He himself.
Decide
arrest.
He himself. He himself.
It was just ARSET.
Yeah, they added another arrow.
So the arrow was
the
rule
rule
of law.
The arrow that was added.
Yeah.
The rule of law.
The rule of law. So you see, this man, he has vision from the early stage of his childhood that he want to become president. He want to lead. They have come prepared. And one thing is,
those of you that took about 45 minutes watching, even being able to lose your makeup back, or because you wanted to hear different thing, you wanted to see it.
I mean,
say,
so it was 45 minutes. I haven't seen this in an annual message.
So guys,
and people always go like 2 hours,
Yeah,
1 hour,
let's
30
look at
minutes,
let's look
but
at
it was 45 minutes with a power pack presentation.
Let's look at something very important. I don't know if you took note of it. About the draft bill that is going to be presented to the legislature for approval. He talked about a draft bill.
He said
Now,
he's working on
a draft
a national health insurance bill.
Yes.
And it's important.
Yes, and I think
this is something that it is welcoming, and we should, every other thing the president has said is something that Liberians have long been waiting for. This is it's just that the president is still re-emphasizing on it. This is thing that wanted. The president campaign on audit.
Yep.
In re-emphasizing the president campaign about drug coach. He re-emphasizing it. The president talk about prioritizing the availability of medical supplies.
He touched on almost everything.
So all the things the president said, these are things that he campaign on.
Well, so let's also look at the employment of
he said
civil
to the legislature
he said
that
we have
the
over
state of the nation is in
70,000
distress.
Civil
You know, that's why he has
70,000
come
civil servants.
on a
And
rescue mission.
he noticed
to
because
recover
you
from
read this
that
with the
distress.
briefing, there was a
So the
joint
part of
executive team.
prosperity,
So he noticed that
and,
there was a huge
and
growth in
economic
employment,
improvement.
then growth
He started his
economy.
speech
So
by saying
are
that
we looking at the
this
president
government will help
redundant people
recover the years of economic
list to see how best
downturn.
they can readjust that?
There are a lot of programs that he's
or he's going to
promising
employ more
to
people
make
because
sure
our
once
people
they are
who's
implemented,
bringing on board
the
have
quality of
people
life
who are
will
part of the
improve in the
party that
country.
needs to
He always said that.
exercise their
Not too
in
long
their
on
own
Monday,
areas
he was
of
here.
socialization.
when
Do you think
he
it's going to be
stated that,
increasing
he's
or
going
it's
to
going
make
to
sure that Liberians live
The problem is,
dignified
and that's why
life.
some
And the
people,
president re-emphasized
there are lots of those
that issue today as well. We talk about
other report from
general improvement, working on across all fronts, investment in agriculture, and those key areas that will facilitate economic growth. Those issues have already been earmarked, and we look forward to
the 70,000
government to show that they deliver to the people of Liberia. Now, the issue of audit, you can be pushing economic prosperity and you can account
these are lots of things
for public. So he stated clearly
that
audit will be a normal in his government, and audit will not be restricted to only the executive this time around. All branches of government, even public private sector entities that receive government money should also account
it's officially
that were given to them. So
it's
like an eye opener for Liberians to see a leader being so open, so bold, speaking to his people.
So
in this
that's enough to lie.
So Liberians are very optimistic that this president is up for this.
Can it happen? Yeah, digital for me, I yes, it can happen because once you have the equipment, you have the let me say shout out to my digital teacher, just physical corner. He always teach me some digital things. So once you have the software to work with, the equipment, you have the things that are needed for digital, right? Trust me, it can even be in 3 months. Because we are talking about internet here.
Sometimes in
how to use the internet. We're talking about
wherever you have more people, real wages is
lower.
lower.
But so in as
But you
how
have
it's
smaller
done,
people working
I believe on
effectively and
those
efficiently,
things are
they are well
available
paid. So one of the key areas that we have heard the president will be focusing on is to review the civil service, the workforce at the disposal
polling,
and
all the way
see
to
where
the
those
football bridge.
loopholes are.
Football bridge.
We are
So
told that
the
there are a lot of
Yamo
people that were
from
brought into government. Some of them
Johnson
are
Street
not even in
all the way
existence. They
to
are not
Black,
working. They are not physically present.
all the way there.
Virginia area.
So the prophet says,
But
no
those are
folk
people
polling
who
and the
plays a
that will
deep role
come, you know,
in
the
the
traffic
national
if you
affairs.
go on that bridge,
So
next thing
it's going to be a good start.
So this
Money for
thing,
money in the
the
sense that
please talk
those
here
who are
now,
actually
you
working
want bring it
will
down.
be
So
identified and
okay,
well
okay,
compensated, like the
so the
president
message,
always put it, to make sure that they live a dignified and well, befitting life. So
the message, he
yeah,
a bad president
he
will
has
be the first
said
to go
that
for the protest.
even
And you
though the
all the
criticism during the
Liberian
campaign where people say, oh, the man
So
said
if you
you
are there now,
reduce the
that should
civil
be
service, but it's
welcoming
not
thing
like
for you
you are
because
reducing the
what
civil
about our
service.
youthful
It's like
generation, our
you
youth
come
are
into
going to
power,
school, our children there,
reviewing
what
what you
people are saying
have
to the
at your
judge,
disposal to
that's
see
the
how
way
you
of
can maximize
like what the
the
woman is saying.
quality
And the
of
woman
the
saying
individuals that
the
will
money
stay on
that
board
what we
to
are saying
get the
he left
job
now,
done. And in that in so
40
doing,
yeah,
million.
the 40
are they well
million. Is
compensated?
it not true?
Yeah,
And
Not
so
that he
the thing he made, he left
on the health.
5 million.
Yeah.
So he want them Nigerian people know
because
before
we are
people
getting
know the news.
signal
Oh, I
that
was saying, oh,
you
Joya,
know,
Joseph Baka, the thing that Joya say 40 million like true.
quickly cited because the issue
28.5
of
million there.
healthcare in this
And
country
he also
has been
talked
in a
about
deteriorating
agriculture,
state, and long
working
last
in
there's
collaboration with
accessibility
local
of healthcare
and
delivery
international
in the
partners.
country.
So I
In
think
a
we're still going
speech
back
has
to the
become
same thing,
a
going
priority.
back to the
He also
soil. I think
spoke
everyone
of
here
the
needs to make
national
a little
health
garden behind your
insurance
house
scheme for
so we can get
liabilities,
products
and
from
that is
there.
good news.
And that
Taking
is
into
within the arrest.
consideration
Am I speaking the truth, Gibson? It's within the arrest. So I think if everyone will go back to the soil at least to make a little garden behind your house, products from there, you can take it to the local farmers, some of the people that are along the road, especially those who are selling vegetables under that container thing. You can sell it to them. It's our own product. I can talk about that. And the issue of the expenditure, he said the government spent the expenditure of the government they spent 796.2 million. Why the some of the rates that were there was 710.23 million. So 18 million is spent. Can you imagine? Yeah, the expenditure was high, more than what they met there. So when he said regular audit will be done with the 3 branches of government, I was actually amazed with that. So guys, can we go to the telephone line so that we can talk to people?
I think it's important.
0778 665 699 0880 561 644. Again, 0778 665 699 0880 561 644. And someone said something just now. If you don't work in this government, then I don't think you want to do something. That means you're a lazy person. Example: the Gabriel Tucker Bridge road that will be from there all the way to St. Paul Bridge. People will work. There will be a lot of employees. Let's call up quickly. Hello.
Hello.
Your name and where do you call from?
Hi, my name is Walter Bibi Mopolu. I'm calling from around Sackton.
All right. Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Actually, I want to make some clarity. You quoted the president, but I want to make some clarity on that because we are taking down points. He said that the seat of the state is in distress, but the hope of our people is alive.
Okay.
So what's the difference? And what's the difference?
So yeah,
listen to a correction.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. We take that. We take that. We said, go ahead.
Actually, yeah, that's what I want you guys to take because it's like war for war. When you're quoting somebody, gotta be pretty.
Yeah, but
all right, thank you.
Thank you. But I think we did the correction.
Yeah, we did the correction. If the seat of the president is I mean disarray, and then I mean it's the same thing. Let's take this call. Hello.
Hello.
Your name and where do you call from?
Thank you. My name is Sam M. Dixon, and I'm from District 2, Mosoralo County.
Okay.
Yeah, let me say shout out to our president. I think the speech is the greatest and fastest effort in the history of our country. It was short and it had meal. And the president touched every sector of our country. The only thing we hold the president on is whatever he has saying he should be able to implement it.
Mhm.
Because we are good at saying things,
Mhm.
we are not good at implementing them. If you say something and you don't implement it, it becomes bad on your side.
Mhm.
So in order for Ambassador Joseph Yuma Bwaga government to be successful, as he says, especially youth, that 10,000 or training of the young people, I think is welcoming. So
Okay.
we encourage young person to make opportunity to make sure and make use of those opportunities that are being given to us as Liberians and as young people.
Thank you. Let's take another person quickly. Hello.
Hello,
Your name and where do you call from?
my name is Felix now, calling on West South Congo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to commend the president of Nigeria for what he just told the Nigerian people. But there are certain things I'm already grabbed there where while you get right now on Nigeria and
Yeah.
what they told them when the outgoing government left there. As a mirror and all grab.
Yeah. So the man, hello.
Yeah.
It means the outgoing government left 20.5 million. But President, we are told that he left 40 million there, but the president said no, it's 20.5 million.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's take another person. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Rose Kelly. Thank you.
Okay.
I want to congratulate our president for his statement, everything that he said. I mean, it be established in our country. But one of the things that I heard him saying is that the main reason, more especially the diaspora, most Liberians, we voted for him for was the war crime coach that he told us about. And we have never heard him speaking about it.
I think that's
And
under the
that
rule
was
of
the
law.
main reason.
All of those things are under the rule of law.
Okay.
And it's also on corruption and a
Yeah,
whole
so
lot.
no,
all right?
she wanted to hear that.
You want hear the war crime code will be established?
Yeah, yeah.
It's under the rule of law.
No, but the president has been one of the presidents
Yeah,
who
the-
already said
he pushing for
he
it.
pushing for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as part of his agenda under the rule of law, I think it
will
will
be
be okay.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, let's hear you.
Hello? Yeah, okay. Just want to welcome the tuna delivered by the president. I think this is one of the best that we have seen in recent years. It was sustained. It was focused on key deliverables, and it was duty, in the way that it was presented. Every aspect of our society was touched in such a way. So we welcome it, and we look forward to seeing the implementation of these issues that have been highlighted by the president. And we'll also like to welcome the support of the legislature in ensuring that these issues or concerns that are embodying the vision of the president are fully achieved. So I just want to say thank you, Mr. President, for this fine delivery, Liberian up to see the best. And we'd like to call on all officials of government that will be appointed to follow the president's example, which will be a very good thing for the society.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Social media is kind of buzzing this afternoon.
Really?
Somebody say, why the president keep referencing the vice president, Mr. Vice President, Mr. Vice President? The opposite say, "My man, go to court everything."
Let's take this person quickly. Hello?
Oh, God.
Hello? Yeah, let's hear you. Hello? Okay, I don't think this person is ready. So again, 0778-665-699, 0880-561-644 are the numbers to call this afternoon, so that let's hear you on what you have to say about the SONA that just ended. Someone said history 45 minutes for SONA. What exact 45 minutes? Why do people take 2 hours, 3 hours to address the nation? Let's talk to this person quickly. Hello? Okay. Yeah, so we are here. Gibson, Amara Bwaka Kamara is also here. My name is Victor. Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm calling from FBIC.
Go ahead.
Yeah, well, something very concerned all
For example, like me, I empower and I say, oh, I left 50,000. Then the next person say, no, the money I lend there is 3,000. So ask you us, who will be
Now the central bank will say, hey.
And then those that will be those auditors that will be sent there, all right, they will be the one to tell us who's saying the truth. But I know Bwaka can lie, too old to lie. 0778-5699-0880-561-644 are the numbers. Let's talk to this person quickly. Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, let's hear you.
I'm Aaron Brown calling from UPC community.
All right.
Yeah, my concern has to do with the road project from the Cape Town Bridge to the Simple Bridge. While the new government providing the fund or the fund already provided by the outgoing government.
No, the president said this is in collaboration, fully funded by the Japanese government.
Okay. My second question has to do with the digital stuff like intolerable for the youth. So, in case I'm not a computer analyst and I want to benefit and I don't have interest in digital issues. So
My man, what kind of man are you? What kind of man are you? You living in the 21st century and say you got interest in digital thing? What kind of man are you?
Excuse me?
No, I'm not listening to you.
The man won't be the man won't do.
Oh, you want to go do how? Where you want to join the road project?
Yeah. Okay. So the names will come out when it start the project. You can be listening. Okay. We'll be
okay. So let me tell you, be listening to radio. Also be checking on Immersion. When you check on Immersion, let you talk. Be never seen the Immersion ever.
Okay.
Okay, my brother.
0778-665-699-0880-561-644 are the numbers to call. Let's talk to this person quickly. Hello.
Good evening, my dear brothers in studio.
Good evening.
My name is Jerome B. Lema, calling from Pinville, station number 5.
All right.
Let me take the time to you guys thank for the analysis and the show this evening. And let me take this opportunity congratulate a veteran president, a responsible leader who spoke on a point. You see, when the speech stays too long, there are so many lies in it. When somebody is speaking and you see repetition coming over and over, there are so many lies that they put it together. So the owner was to get to the point, he talked with maturity, and he knew what he's saying. Unless those who will be speaking and giving some figures that are not correct. But my question, I did not hear for the money in the reserve that the outgoing president or the former president talked about. He left only 240 million or what?
Bwaka keeps saying it. The president said he left. The outgoing president, the former president said he left 40 million. And President Joseph Bwaka is saying he didn't need 40 million. He met 20.5 million.
Yes, he said there were two figures that were given to the former president. He talked about the money that he left in the reserve. He said he left 200, I don't know, 240 million in the reserve. Then in a consolidated
so for now for now the entire government is dealing with the consolidated account, because it's from the consolidated account that lawmakers who have just gotten in power and other civil servants will be paid from, not the reserved. So we are looking at the initial capital where we'll be starting from, and that's where the 20.5 million came from.
Okay, brother. I'm very impressed. Thank you very much for the clarity, because somebody saying that I met a broken economy.
Thank you very much. All right, 0880-561-644, 0778-665-699 are the numbers. Let's start. Hello.
Good afternoon, my dear brothers and sisters.
Good evening.
Yeah, this is Christian Young, calling from Lexington.
Can you be audible, please?
I'm Christian Young, calling from Lexington.
All right.
Yeah, I want to benefit from the digital realization where my father just speak on.
Well, we can't be we are not the ones to speak on that.
Yeah, I know. So there's somebody saying whether you don't know digital, how we do.
So
Somebody
the first,
program for you to
the first thing.
benefit in Kenya.
Hello, brother.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello.
Are you a youth? Because it says a youth. It's a youth.
Yeah,
You know.
I'm a youth.
Okay.
How old are you?
The message is a youth.
Wait, I know youth age. I know
You know how
you.
to-
Wait, I know youth age. How old are you, brother?
28 years of
You 28?
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, but what I can advise you is that you keep monitoring radio stations, you keep following the internet and newspaper. Start the process. I think you can get hold of one of the slot and then be
Yeah, I
a part
hope
of
that
it.
the process should not be like someone, if you don't have contact, you should not get the
I think
we
so,
hope
brother.
We
I
hope
think
so.
so.
We hope so. We hope so.
And one of the things too, I want to stress is that the issues of that reserve fund are left in the cover. I think I listened to the president, Kine. The president said that the past president left 20.5, right?
20.5 million
20.5.
consolidated account, not reserve, not reserve.
Not reserve. Not
Okay.
reserve. I think that these are the supervisor people got to know.
Okay.
Not a reserve. It's a 20.5. So when you talk about the consolidated account, you should know the difference between there.
Okay.
So you got to know the difference between the two that people can know very well.
Good evening.
Thank you. Good evening.
Yeah, this is the voice of Mark Mel, where I do join you from Barclay Farm, Christopher, located in Lower Market County.
Let's hear you, sir.
Thanks very much for the opportunity. I sat carefully and I listened to the sonnet of you know, every aspect, all those things that have been impeding the growth and development of our country. It was just summarized in a 45-minute a presentation by the Excellency Joseph Yuma Boakai. Our president-elect spoke about drugs trafficking. He spoke about massive corruption, how to carry on reduction. And mind you, you cannot be the head. You want for things to happen. You want to sit in something for it to happen. You must be part and parcel of the happening. That was the reason why, look, I admire Ambassador Boakai a lot when he said, me and my vice president will be the first to carry on our just test. And we the young people, we are of the conviction that there is a better Liberia and we should think and love Liberia. We can see that this government, they're going to succeed for every nation. You don't need to pray for the world. Because if they're going to go bad, we are going to suffer. But we pray that the current leadership is going to take us to another level that will benefit the ordinary Liberian people. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much as well. So Gibson, I mean, let's talk a little bit about this digital thing because it's a youthful thing. I know you yourself would like to benefit from it as well, though you have the digital knowledge, but you want more advancement. So do you think it's going to be based on merit basis or on the basis of who know you think? I think it's something to talk about as well, because someone raised that issue just a minute ago.
Well, like I said, this is a very new government, very different government, that government that have made promises to the people. One of the reasons why former President Weah didn't retain was because of failed promises. The president made over 200, former president had made over 200, but he were able to at least complete about 27, 28.
Yeah.
So think about you making 200 promises and finishing at least 30 promises. That's a very big gap. So this is a commitment that the president have made. Every other thing the president said has been recorded. People are jotting down key points. And the mistake to go contrary to the commitment.
You'll be reminded of that.
The people will stand up. The problem is, look, we have to be more careful.
Yeah.
The people make the president.
Yeah.
The president appoints ministers, cabinet people. So once the people you made a commitment to, and you're not making them to realize the commitment you made, that's where the disappointment can come in, the disenchantment, and people shall go rational, other way around. I don't think President Boakai is one person that is very straightforward.
Okay.
People that have worked with this man, even before ascending to the presidency, when they tell you about this man, you don't believe it. This man, when he wants to see something done,
he gets it done.
That's when he is. If the man say, I want to do this, he wants to see it complete. So it will not be that what the president said during the inaugural address, it would not be business as usual.
Yeah, not business.
I understand this person's concern about now who know you.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, this thing is you can't rule it out, right?
Because that's how it's been in our country. Who know you? Who know you?
This would be of a different regime. If you say 10,000 is a very wholesome number,
it's a huge number.
10,000,
huge number.
So if the president or the committee are coming, if the committee, the president or maybe your friend have that project undertaken, because you have 15 sub-political divisions.
That brings my question. Is it going to affect this the 15 sub-political divisions of Liberia? I mean,
you have 10,000. You can the president. He's not a president of Mostrado. He's not a president of Lofa County where he hails from. He's not a president for Grand Chile, my county of Bradford, my county of already.
He's the president of Maryland, where I hear from as well.
He's the president for the Republic of Liberia.
Mm-hmm.
So whatsoever project the president will be undertaking, every person or every young man in this country
will be affected by it.
Will have to get a piece of it. This is a national thing.
Okay.
It's not about special people. Right. So I think the president will do the best.
Let's talk to this person. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, your name and where do you call from?
Let's look. Calvin Bello from New Jersey, SA.
Okay, let's hear you, sir.
My concern has with a digital program.
Okay.
Observe the past when the program comes about, who the most valuable is catered to.
Mm-hmm.
For most valuable Islam, Liberia, out of subdivision of the country, and most often the other countries do not benefit.
Okay.
So we're asking the government that just didn't see the please go across the country or the country, at least that you from other countries be able to benefit from the program.
Okay.
That's my view.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
That's true.
And guys, one of the areas that I want us to talk about quickly, and it's highlighted in all bold letters, the issue of Cooch, where the president have designated the health minister, the chair on that committee, the justice minister, co-chair, minister of youth and sports, member, the minister of gender, children and social protection, member, the Liberian Drugs Enforcement Agency, member, the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, member, to fight corruption, not corruption, but to fight drugs and substance in Liberia. I think at this point, it's an inclusive committee where the test needs to be, the drugs test needs to be done from the health area, justice that comes with the rule of law, and then youth and sports that has to do with youth, and then Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection. Nowadays, I think we have maybe 80 to 90% of the youth are the one taking these drugs. And then the DEA, which is the enforcing arm, and that of the finance ministry that will be, supporting these members and executive on the chair. So the president, like you said, the president is the man. Is the man of wisdom. Can you imagine health? Because once the drugs once you've been tested, it will be done in the ministry. Hospital comes in through the health ministry. Justice. Sometimes you are accused.
Yeah,
you are accused wrongly, right?
You're talking about health, and what he said just not in his speech. He said, "Health and sanitation remain a major priority of my government, of our government. In the health sector, my government will prioritize the following: the availability of needed medical supply and logistic in all public and health institutions throughout the length and breadth of the nation."
No, I was talking about the fighting of the drugs epidemic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. I was talking about the fight against Cooch, because he mentioned Cooch, and Cooch has been one of the drugs that Neem have ringed in songs, in campaign messages all across Liberia.
Yeah. So on the issue of Cooch, he said the drug epidemic, especially use of Cooch in our country, is an existential threat. Sorry about that. Existing threat. Eating away our future of our children and the country. We must stand up and face the national security risks. Together, give the need for immediate action to be taken. Good my pledge to the thousands of families burdened by this crisis, that
the crisis,
the
which
crisis.
is Kush, yeah.
I'm hereby declaring drugs and substance
substance
abuse as a public health emergency.
Yes.
In this direction, I am establishing now. Yeah,
this is where the committee. This is where the committee comes in.
Steering committee comprising the following agency.
Yeah.
The Ministry of Health,
chair.
Yeah. The Ministry of Justice, co-chair. Ministry of Youth and Sports, member. The Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, member. Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency, member. Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, member. In this fight, me and my vice president, we will be the first to take the drug test, and I urge all others
to follow. Now, Gibson, with this chair and co-chair members on this committee, I mean, what do you think the president was actually trying to portray, or what is he portraying by bringing these? I mean, bringing all of these in this as making a committee.
Well, these are people that are responsible for it, because if you talk about, look at the chair, it's the health minister.
Yeah.
So think about drug has to do with health related issue.
Yeah.
Because if the more you taking drug, your health is at risk.
Yeah.
So the chairperson this is a fast thing. The Minister of Justice.
Yes.
Co-chair.
Yeah.
The people that can enforce a law, they think the DEA, the Ministry of Justice.
Yes, member.
So they have to get the Justice Minister as a member.
Okay.
Minister of Youth and Sport.
The youth.
They're responsible.
They are responsible.
They are the more consumers of the drug. So
Mm-hmm.
it's important. Look at the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection. There are lots of minors
taking drugs.
Go to all these different ghettos across Monserrato, even across the country. You have more minors taking drugs.
Yeah.
So you have the Minister of Gender, Children and Social Protection in there to make sure that because they have their own people and they'll have to do it. Then you have the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency. You have the Ministry of Finance. So the Ministry of Finance now is there to empower the work
financially
for this particular committee.
Because they need to move around.
Because the first thing first, you have to get jingles playing on the stations. You have going to different counties, carrying out an awareness about drug that is a national emergency. We don't want this to be like President. We are declaring rape of national emergency at the end of the day. We don't see anything going on. So we are hoping that this is very important, but we are hoping that the effect of it be more effective.
Okay.
Because sometimes saying these things, like what somebody said, all what the president have said today, they make very genuine sense. But again, these things have to be done properly. That at the end of the day, the people now start getting there when we march. All these things now should start being done bit by bit. We know how Liberians are. We Liberians, we go to
accept and we could reject. Yeah.
So the more you make these kinds of commitments, Liberian people, they expect you to do, even if it is not 100%, but at least do it halfway, 50% of it.
But the president, someone called and they said the president did not talk about people in the diaspora. He talked about diaspora.
Yeah,
it's there. He talked about the diaspora
library.
And he said that our brothers and sisters who are in the diaspora, though they are not in the country, but they are an extension. They are an extension of our national pride. Yeah, they are an extension of our national pride. So he also considered those who are in the diaspora as well to be part of Liberia. Well, folks, let's just take 3 more calls and then we call it a day right here. 0778 665 699 0880 561 644 are the numbers to call and have your say about the State of the Nation address by the president, the just ended SONA, that the president took 45 minutes to end. Let's go to the telephone line and talk to this caller quickly. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, your name and where do you call from?
My name is Nick Flunter and I call from the Oro, the representative around the American school.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to congratulate the president, and he did well. His speeches we hope that he live by his promises. It might be like the past president who made 200 and some more promises. They only went, I think, 27, 28 promises. I must congratulate him today. He did well. And secondly, I think the most important part of the speech I got for talking about drugs, getting rid of drugs in this country. And I'm so happy. I think there'll be one of the major things. Secondly, the health minister, who is appointed to be one of the major persons to really work on the issue.
Yeah.
That's true. That's it. I'm so happy today.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. So let's go to the telephone line and talk to another person right here. 088056164407786656699 are the numbers to call right here, and let's hear you with the just ended SONA by the president. He talked a lot about so many issues ranging from education, health, inclusiveness, diaspora. He talked about good governance. He talked about the honorable legislators. He talked about health. He talked about civil service. He talked about foreign policy. But one of the issues I wanted to look at is the foreign policy, right? And in the foreign policy, the president actually talked about the Mano River Union, the ECOWAS, of course, the African Union. And as you may be aware, Boakai, three African countries have cut up tie with the ECOWAS.
Yeah.
Niger, Burkina Faso, and that of is it Niger, Burkina Faso, and okay, let's go to the line. I have to get it quickly. Hello. Yeah, Nima, where do you call from?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you. My name is Adam Kron, and
Okay.
I join you from the 12th District 2 in Johnsonville.
All right.
Yes, I listened keenly to the president, and let me appreciate him for exercising, the best of it all to deliver to our national legislature. I took two key points from his speech. One that has to do with his government ensuring audit of, all of the branches of government, not just limited executive alone. But I think it is welcoming if that will work up, and I think that should be something to work on, because the Liberian people have suffered a lot from previous governments. So I think it is quite important that all of the branches of government be scrutinized, and let's see how they work over the period of time as it relates to the issues of the Liberian people, so as to serve as a deterrent. So I think other Sudan see this as a wish fund that the president is meant to execute people of the past government, but I think that is just meant to ensure transparency and to put order on the alert that the issues about the Liberian people work is not for play.
All right.
And then the president talked about the issues about drugs. Drugs, creating a national emergency. The issue about fighting drugs. I think we have suffered a lot for the past time when it comes to the issue about Kush that he spoke about specifically. The president, this government need to ensure it should not be just a theory, because previous government has said this thing, over and over in the same SONA address. It has not worked better. So let President Bouaka will work through his law enforcement agencies to fight drastically the issue about drugs that cut across the country.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much, my brother, for being a part of it. And we all are saying the same thing here, Victor.
Yeah.
This message today, the address today, the president spoke on wide range of issues within 45 minutes. Touch all over the entire arrest. The arrest talk about everything: agriculture, rule of law.
Some people saying I can't do speech about it.
Well, you expect other people to say something. So, Victor, security wise, we should get ready. The old man said the same thing about auditing This other thing, Benny, we have to keep stressing on it. Yo, you say me I let money, Benny.
Let money, my man.
Now like liking money, Benny, because we long been calling for audit.
Okay.
So now the Ome is saying, the president is saying, I will not just audit the executive branch,
but the three branches.
The three branches of government.
He said he will regularly audit the three branches of government.
Yeah. So the people there were in the executive, judiciary, our men, they should get ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they should now start declaring their assets.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the key thing. You as a lawmaker, some of them have ready. So you as a public servant, you need to. That's just what we are calling for.
Okay, so this is it. The net international reserves position reported at the end of December 2023 was 220 million. Are you getting it, guys? The report of US 40 million as the governments of Liberia consolidated account balance as at January 19, 2014 is not supported by the fact.
It's not supported by the fact.
We are la.
It's not true. Yeah.
We are la.
That's just it.
Yeah.
It means not true.
By the fact. Right? And then he said the balance reported by the Central Bank of Liberia as of the same date was 20.5.
Okay, so Gibson, here is it. The Central Bank saying that we don't want to be caught up in the web.
Yes.
Yeah. Right? We don't want to be caught up in the web. This is why President we are told the Liberian people, I'm leaving 40 million.
So 9 million.
Yeah. So he wanted to
yes.
He wanted to leave everything on the Central Bank.
And the
Central Bank said no. This is what's there, and we are presenting it to the incoming government so that before we can tell the opponent say, like 40 million there. Then tomorrow, President Boakai, Vice President Okun, they say, that 40 million are there. Okay, you get all the 40 million. One you say on something, one pay 7 for the 2 months. Then now the Central Bank can account for the 40 million. What become of that?
And now, guys, listen to the breakdown. The stock of public debt. Listen to the breakdown. The stock of public debt at the end of December 2023 stood at public debt 2.21 billion.
The million money only.
Yeah. Public debt 2.21 billion. An increase of 8.67% compared to the end of December 2022 stock that was 2.8 billion. That means we owe him.
President,
they get plenty of money.
We get plenty of money for now. We pray that some of the judge even say
yeah, but sometimes people can do with
it. Yeah. Now, our debt burden has clearly grown automatically. Certainly, the rescue mission was a necessity for the Liberian transformation. So we don't know whether they'll waive it or we'll pay. We know.
Yeah. So now the old man is saying the rescue mission was necessary.
Of course.
It was totally necessary.
Very necessary.
Probably Gibson, he know what he's talking about.
Yeah. So we are just gonna allow with speech in drop it and he go.
They may go front.
That's why the aspect of audit comes in. And that's why you see the old man, the president has always said audit.
Yeah.
So you see now so George Weah now is government and people himself can't tell the people what they ban on.
Yeah. 19.5 million. The 19.5 million.
Yeah, probably why you go?
Where you go? Where?
Because he's telling us he left 40 million. And the people are telling you they say no, not pour anywhere.
So
what is
so Gibson, can we say okay, President, we are left it there. But somebody went beyond President, we are and collected the money from them.
So the president,
but it can be. It could be. But if Samuel could, you know, probably he told the president, say, Mr. we are leaving 40 million. But then later on, when they turn about President, we are left from your go France.
They made
that move from there. Whole 19.
At that point, if we are establishing that basis, million. Now, if we are that's 18 million. 18 million.
Amazing.
Yeah, 18 million. Yeah.
18 million missing.
18 million.
Where is it? Where is that money? That's the question.
Now if that fact is established, it means the central bank governor needs to be questioned along with all those who are signatory to the central bank's account.
Yeah, so now, the burden rests on the president, the former president.
Yes.
He now should come up and ask Mr. Tue, oh yes, you told me that we're having 40 million.
How come
now
20.5?
They are telling us it's 20.5.
18 million gone.
Where is the 18 million? Where is it? If you want to remain Mr. Clean as the quote-unquote claim, that he's Mr. Clean, and he's leaving something in reserve. Those are some of the questions that he should be asking now.
And the problem is no one went to we are hard on there
to tell you recall.
I believe what all the former president said at night. It was he saw the document to it.
Yeah, and then
the people of Aspect 20, the people from the who know about the finance of our country, honor his administration. They told him as a president that 40 million job we have said I even know I'm on there.
So him that some people here. Yes, it
was now a mistake. Maybe they say maybe Messi 30.5, maybe call it 40.
Not true.
Not possible.
Not true.
And the man knew fully well that's why he announced it. So now this is where the question comes in. And now to the President Boakai and the government will have to make sure to do these kind of things. Profile behind people for audit. Because if you play the leaders like the George Weah government that said the campaign that Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was corrupting this country, and when they took power, they didn't do what they're supposed to do. Which was auditing the Ellen government. They seen George Weah and grade the Ellen government with high score.
High score. He came in grade high score.
So the fact that told this country that he left 40 million and now is contrary to what he said, the government now should take the audited people. They're already people. Don't see it. People shouldn't see it. People shouldn't see it like a witch hunt.
The inflation, and then the inflation during the period.
Witch hunting.
The inflation during the period of 2023 rose to 10.1% at the end of December from 7.6%.
So can you imagine?
From 2022 from 7.6 to 10.1. See the inflation.
So you see the gap between.
See the inflation. Right? And then revenue collected as reported for 2023 stood at 710.3 million, while expenditures totaled US 779.32 million. So just imagine.
So
that's where employment was too much.
You've seen how inflated it was. You've seen the inflation. You've seen the expenditure, whatever. It is couping upon this government.
And then you can't tell us with all the inflations. And then you can't tell us he left 40 million in consolidated account.
For me, I don't get problem with it. That the government should make sure that 40 million say they can't prove it. That's the problem.
Bring the documents.
So if we continue to do the thing, they way back then.
Let's just take 2 calls and then we call it a day. Let's just take the news. The new guys got to go and take.
So gentlemen, we say thanks to all of you.
Thanks Gibson. Thanks Gibson. Thanks Waka for coming by. I think
congratulations to the president. It was a very splendid speech. And I think we will see more of this.
We hope
of
to
the
see
president's
more.
So nation.
My
name is Gibson G. Anyways.
We hope to see Gibson. My man, you going? You're not leaving small to me like
that.
Okay, so folks, let me just say you are watching Punch Evening Ride, your drive time program, Punch 106.7, and of course, let me take you through our weather forecast, our word of the day, our inspirational quote of the day, and then we call it a day right here on the program, Punch Evening Ride, your drive time program. My name is Victor Wem, right here with you. So, like we regularly stated, this is what our country was turned into, and the rescue mission, according to the president Joseph Newman Boakai, have come to liberate us. All right, from this 40 million left, and then you met 20.5 million. 19.5 million extracted. Can you imagine 19.5 million extracted? So where is that 19.5 million? That's the question Liberians are asking, and that's what Liberians want to know. Well, folks, our weather forecast today stands at 29 degrees, and of course, it's a little bit sunny out there, as you may be aware. It's a sunny day on this Monday, and our word of today is actually pronounced as emote. An emote is to express emotion in a very dramatic or obvious
way. And of course, our inspirational quote for today says, the most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any. That's the most common way you give up your power. Act like you don't know, and then you give up your power. So, folks, on this note, this is how we take leave of you on the Punch Evening Ride, hoping that it was highly rewarding. Sorry, we did not bring our regular topic, our regular format of the program due to the State of the Nation's address. That's the reason why our program actually did not take the rightful format of the day. So hope to see you guys and on Wednesday, where I'll be back with another splendid edition of the program. Many thanks to all those who listened. Many thanks to all those who watched. And of course, bidding you a pleasant evening, a Monday evening. Do have yourself a lovely, lovely day. My name is Victor Wim, and I was here with Bwaka Amara Kamara and Gibson. Do have yourself a lovely time. Bye-bye.
It's Nairo. Sit and talk and fuck, but they can still eat fish and cookies together. You from the other side.